All right, next video. So I've been on this testosterone replacement therapy for about 6 months now. In the first maybe couple of months, they seem to start everybody out, these clinics, whatever, testosterone clinics, they seem to, kind of have a cookie cutter deal that they start everybody on, and then based on your feedback, they may lower you a little bit, or they may up it even a little bit more. But it's 150 milligrams a week that they have you on. They give you, at the very least, probably anastrozole, which is a estrogen blocking pill, or technically it's an aromatase blocking pill, which means normally your testosterone aromatases into a percentage of it into estrogen, or the male version, estradiol, and or E2 for short. So you'll hear guys online, oh, let it go, let your E2 go wherever it's supposed to go. Your body will adjust and equalize, and da 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 da. You don't ever want to take those pills. Other guys, you need to just lower your testosterone dose so that your body can naturally also lower the E2 with it and find your sweet spot that way. But some guys are like, yeah, but if I do it too low testosterone, my other symptoms that I'm trying to treat with the testosterone it's not enough. Like, in other words, I need more testosterone, but if I have too much testosterone, my E2 goes too high, so I have to take the pills. And there's other guys who swear you never have to take the pills, you shouldn't take the pills, and it's this big war online. It's ridiculous. And what I've come to find out is getting your E2 in your sweet spot is probably the most important thing you can do while on testosterone therapy. And I've been playing with mine and trying to figure out everything. Take the AI, which is an aromatase inhibitor, the pill I'm talking about. Take an AI, don't take an AI. If you take an AI, don't take too much. Get your bloods constantly so you can figure out where your E2's at. But one thing I've noticed is they started me off at 150 milligrams, probably like most other people, at least in America. And my libido went through the roof. I've never felt a sex drive like that in my life. The kind of thoughts I was having, it was out of control. I can't live like this. This is too crazy. So I lowered my dose. And I'm going to say I probably did the equivalent of going from 150 down to around 120 or 130 milligrams, but I only did it for 3 shots, which would equate to a week and a half, because I was doing 2 shots a week, spread out evenly, like every 3.5 days, you could say. So that's not enough time for your body to absorb that adjustment, all the other hormones that have to now readjust and equalize from that. Like, it takes weeks for your body to get into, what you might call homeostasis. 3 weeks minimum, 4 weeks would be best to wait and see how you feel and then make another change. So I, not knowing at the time, did that change, didn't wait long enough, upped it to like 140 milligrams. So I went from 150 to probably 120, but I only did a week and a half at 120. Then I went back up to like 140 or so. And then my libido came back, because during that time, my libido got wrecked. And then I was taking meticulous notes. And if you start TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, you should take meticulous notes. Day 1, I got my first injection on a Saturday. Next injection, Tuesday, because you want to do it 3 or 4 days apart if you're doing it twice a week injections. And, my erection quality or my libido or this, like, log everything. And at the very beginning, I didn't, because I was out of control. I thought this was going to be the new normal, like, okay. But then I wrecked my libido for a little while, and then I got it back. Okay. And I still thought, I still think this is too much. So I lowered it again, lost the libido, erection problems. It comes hand in hand with this. Okay, take the AI, don't take the AI, let it run as high as it should. Da, da, da. Okay, let me try that. Oh my God. And it's not, none of it's helping me. Like, it's just making things worse as far as libido and things of that nature. So I'm like, man, what do I need to be doing here? So, I'm like, doing meditations and spirit and talking to woo-doo and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I think you do need to go lower. And I'm like, all right, spirit, I'm driving right now. I need you to show me this if I need to go lower. And I get it. I see exactly what I asked for. Okay, so I definitely need to go lower. All right. So I did. And as the old saying goes, sometimes less is more. I went from essentially 150 down to 120 or 30, up to 140. That's still too high, down to 120. But that time at 120, I left it there for about 10 or 11 days. Again, still not long enough. I should have waited 3 weeks, 4 weeks better. But I got the sign, no, you need to go a little bit more, I think. So I go, okay. So I went down to 90, approximately 90 milligrams a week. And I got a sign because I was asking, should I inject daily or still do twice a week? And I'm injecting, which I think is the standard one in America, testosterone cypionate, I think is how you pronounce that. So it has a longer, not shelf life, but half-life. So that's why they're like, well, you can do that once a week. I don't know. I've heard mixed stories. You want to do it at least twice a week. And like, well, you don't need to do it daily. Like, well, some people do, and they claim it's way better. You don't have some of the peaks and ups and downs a little bit of sometimes you might get when you spread out your injections. So twice a week for me was okay, but I got signs like you need to try every day. So I did the math and figured out, okay, on the needle, it's like 0.09 worth of testosterone in the shot on a with the 150 milligram bottle of testosterone that they give. And anyways, because if you were doing 150 a week, you do a full 1 cc or 100 on the needle as opposed to 9. So anyways, I lowered it, and I was talking woo doo doo. He goes, you should probably take some L-arginine too. L-arginine. I go, okay. So I did a little research. Oh, okay. And so I took some L-arginine, but I read there were some studies where people were taking L-arginine and pine bark. And I go, extract? And I go, good for libido and stuff. And I go, okay, maybe I'll try that too. What the hell? So I end up doing that, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes, a week or two or so. And I start noticing like, ooh, okay, I think things are heading in the right direction. So they have been, just FYI, things have been pretty good. Not crazy sexual thoughts and like out of control like it was in the beginning. However, like every other day, easily, no problem, So it's like, okay, good. Sometimes even every day. So it's like, okay, like I'm back. Everything's good in that department now. But I want to mention every single time I drop my dosage, and other guys online have mentioned this too. And I think some will even say when they were down at a lower dosage and went higher, sometimes they noticed this. But mostly I think it's when you're lowering your dosage. And that is, you go through an approximately 2-week period of this little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And you might wreck your libido too in that process too, because you've made an adjustment and all your hormones have to get back together and figure things out based on your testosterone input, essentially. It's kind of like the main thing that the rest of them have to now work off of and figure out where they need to be. So anyways, when you do that, you can kind of get a little bit depressed, feeling kind of in the dumps, and at the same time, if you were doing that and your E2 was high, which is your estradiol or estrogen, male version, your E2 is a little high or too high because you didn't take an AI, which is an aromatase inhibitor, which stops the estrogen from being created from your testosterone. And next thing you know, your E2 spiking, you're going to get emotional. That's kind of like what the females deal with. And I felt some of that, so you get emotional, you can have intrusive thoughts and things, like feel a little bit in the dumps, a little bit depressed, a little bit sad today, poor me, whatever. And then another day or two goes by and you feel fine. This happened to me all 3 times or so that I've done this in the last few months. And I just changed my dosage from 120 milligrams down to 90 about 11 days ago. So last few days have been a little bit of this. And today was actually one of the days where I just woke up going, I'm just a little bit depressed and just a little, feeling a little, in the dumps, so to speak, just a little bit. Not like some of the other times. I go, yeah, I wish those times were like this time. This is not that bad, and just be prepared that can happen if you're trying to dial yourself in and change your dosage. And a lot of people don't even know that. So you just start to feel weird all of a sudden. Oh, I got to change it back. Well, you got to give it 3 weeks minimum, 4 weeks better, a month better, to feel how your body is now finally adjusted, because you're going to probably go through the ups and downs roller coaster while your body readjusts to the new testosterone levels, and everything else has to adjust, including your estrogen or estradiol, E2, and such. So, I was telling Evelyn a little earlier, I was like, yeah, it's kind of one of those days, just, she felt bad for me, and, I feel so bad for you, being real sweet to me about it and everything. And she had a dance lesson earlier, and she left out in the garage, and then I see her coming back in, and she's like, oh, I want to give you a kiss, because she's like, I thought it might make you feel a little better, and it did, it did. But I wasn't going to go out there and chase a kiss down. Just, it's fine. Go to your dance. It's just a dance lesson. No big deal. And, but, she's just real sweet, very, very emotionally aware of people around her and things, So tonight was a social where the dance instructor, other dance instructors, they all show up at the ballroom, so to speak, the dance hall. All their not all of them, but their students show up, and then they take turns dancing with their students. The female instructors, the male instructors, they all do it. So with Evelyn, she's with a male instructor. So, he's got a number of female students that don't have husbands or boyfriends or whatever that want to dance. So they're kind of doing this on their own. And I'm like, well, I want to dance, and I want to dance with her, and it's fun, and it's good exercise. Like, I didn't think it was going to be fun, but it actually was fun. So I want to keep doing this. And, but my knee's been messing with me lately because I've been doing too much dancing, and I'm like, I better chill, better take it easy. And I can tell today, like, yeah, just take it easy. You don't want to really re-injure it. So I'm like, now I got to stop again. For how long? A week, 2 weeks? I don't know. So I'm a little depressed about that. Plus, it was one of those days where I was already just a little bit depressed from the little roller coaster thing, because I'm only 11 days into the change of lower dose. So it's like, it's like she's going and I'm not going. What am I going to do? Go and stand there and sit down at a table and watch? Like, so I'm like, no, go have fun, Evelyn. Just go, go have, but I feel bad for you. I feel so sad. I'm sad that you're feeling sad. I'm like, I know, I appreciate you. You're so sweet. I appreciate you, how you are. But it's not always about me. I appreciate, you're always like that. You always care about the other person. You'd rather make yourself suffer than tell the other person they're bothering you or something or whatever it is. You're always for the other person. I go, it's not always about me. And I appreciate, you kissing me earlier and making me feel better and all that. I go, but go. Just go. There may not be a lot of ladies that show up tonight. Maybe you're not going to have to sit there and wait your turn for so long for your dance instructor, because sometimes when she does, she's like, I just get up and leave. I'm not about to sit there and wait a half hour to get 2 dances in or 1. My time's valuable. I'm not doing that. I go, I don't blame you. So I'm like, that's why I'm trying to catch up and be able to lead you and dance properly with you and know what I'm doing. And it's killing me because now I've got a little bit of a setback, like, so I'm just feeling like crap, not crap, but not feeling real good. And I'm like, just go dance, go do it. She's like, but I'm already late now. It doesn't matter. And I go, it's 8 o'clock now. Like, it's till 10. You could be there in 20 minutes. That's an hour and a half at least. Just go, man. Go have fun. All right, I guess I'll go. So she did, and so she's like, well, I saw your dance instructor, Yulia's over here with, there's that black guy that I've noticed is one of her students. He's here too. I was like, yeah, it figures, and he probably doesn't have anyone to dance with that's interested either, maybe. And that's, so it's like, gosh, it sucks that the only person you can dance with is your instructor, and there's all these people in line to dance with them too. Like, you need a partner to dance with. You need your husband or wife to dance with, man. And It's like I'm doing it. And I'm telling you guys out there, if your wife has ever wanted to dance and she just didn't want to do it alone or something, I'm telling you, you should do it. Man, you should do it. It's great exercise. It's actually quite a bit of fun. And you want to talk about making your wife happy or your girlfriend happy, man? I'll tell you right now. They love dancing, man. Women, and my wife is super shy, man, super shy. And I'm like, you're taking dance? No way. And she did. She stuck with it, and surprisingly, and she's gotten really, really good at it. I mean, like, damn good. So, anyways, one other thing I think I wanted to mention was about the E2, estradiol, or male version of estrogen. And when you take testosterone, it aromatases into a percentage of it into estrogen. So if you're injecting yourself, and the next thing you know, you were at 250, 300 low testosterone, now you're at 900 or 1,000 or more, you're going to be aromatizing some of that into estrogen. Your estrogen's probably going to go up to above the high level. You may get emotional because of that, and I've been there. And I've got blood work to show it. But I followed some of the bro science online. Don't ever take an AI, which is an aromatase inhibitor, the pill I'm talking about, that they do give you at the clinics to manage your estrogen. And I'm like, well, don't take any of it. Just let it go and equalize out. So I tried that. And my estrogen got too high. And I'd find myself with certain emotional days, intrusive thoughts, a little bit depressed, things like that. And then I'd take one of those pills and go, within an hour or so, I can already tell the difference. And then by the next day, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Man, it was all that emotional stuff about, well, your E2 was high. But I don't want to take a pill. How can I figure this out? Well, some guys say you should lower your testosterone dose significantly and then work your way up rather than start high and work your way down like all these clinics do. So I go, that's what brought me from 150 down to 140, whatever, down to 20, down to 90. And now I'm at around 90 per week, but only 11 days into it, which is why I'm having a little bit of the roller coaster of emotions. Not real bad, which is interesting because when I was higher testosterone dropping it, I seemed to be a little more affected by it as far as emotions and stuff. So now I'm at 90, I can bump myself up slightly if I need to. However, I think I found a good spot. I may only needed a little boost, I guess, and it seems to be good. My libido's is good. It's not out of control like it was when I first started at 150 milligrams a week. I'm injecting every single day instead of twice a week. So I'm taking very small amounts of injections of it per day. It seems to do me right. I feel good about it. And it's too early to tell because it's only been 11 days off this last change. You need to wait 3 weeks minimal to 4 weeks better before you make another change or see how you're feeling or, oh, it was just temporary. Yeah, my libido got wrecked again. Okay, maybe you should bump yourself up a little bit. Okay, let me try from 90, let me go to 110 or maybe right to 120 even and see how that goes, which is what I probably would do. But I think I might be in a good spot right now. So just a few things here I wanted to share. This stuff takes weeks for your body to like reorganize itself, your hormones. So you make a change and you notice a week later, all of a sudden you're a little bit depressed, I'm a little bit, well, what's going on? Even if your E2 is in check, you still might have that roller coaster regardless because all of your hormones are now rebalancing because what your testosterone does, other ones have to react to that. And it's a very complicated system actually. So, ask me how I know, been there and done that. So now I'm like, okay, I think I'm kind of finally dialing myself in and figuring myself out. But I wish these clinics would start people off at like 80 milligrams a week, the minimum you should ever take. And then, okay, how's that feeling? Let's go to 90. Okay, how's that feeling? Let's go to 100. How's that feeling? Go to 110. How's that feeling? Go to 120. It's going to take you a month each and every time you make one of those adjustments. But who cares if this can be a life-changing thing for you? And like I said in my other videos about this, it was for me. I don't get mad about anything anymore. Like little outbursts of things that would set me off or something that I know would set me off. I look at it and go, oh, okay, no big deal. I'm not going to scream and yell about it. So it's fine. And just all around's been, mostly positive. Again, the little loss of libido, changing my dosage, all that stuff, I, kind of brought it on myself. But A lot of guys will talk about, well, that's just the normal honeymoon period. We call that the honeymoon period because you're like a beast in the bedroom. You can't get enough, and then you go chasing it because it went away, and you settle down to a decent level, but you're trying to get that back to that level. And that's the honeymoon period. So I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know that at first. If I would have left it where it was, maybe it would have been fine. But I still felt I was breaking out with acne and stuff and pimples on my head. I'm going, no, it's too much. I can tell it's just too much. I just know it is. And I'm asking Spirit, meditating, give me a sign, and I need to see this. Oh, I see it. Okay, got it. I need to go lower. And again, I'm at 90 now. I've never been this low. But it's a starting point. And if you're going to do this, I would go against your doctor's or whoever's orders and not start at 150 or 200 milligrams. Start at freaking 80. See how that goes. And initially, I'd say do it for 2 months. If it's your first time doing it, do it for 2 months, not 1 month. See if it sustains and you're good for 2 months. If it does, leave it. If you notice the whole time I never really felt anything, you need to bump yourself up. Go from, if you didn't feel anything at 80 milligrams, I'd probably go to 100 milligrams right off the bat. Still don't feel anything, maybe go to 120. You might go up 20s instead of 10s. I think you'd be okay. But everybody's different. Some guys like higher E2, some guys like lower E2, some guys like their E2 right in the normal range. You don't know where you like it until you start playing around and figuring your body out and trying to dial yourself in. Because you might find the right E2 for you, but testosterone's not quite enough. So you need more testosterone, but when you do that, your E2 goes up. Now it's too high. You may have to take one of those pills on a regular basis. But there are guys who out there who swear you can lower your testosterone enough to get your E2 where it needs to be. And once your E2 is where it needs to be, it doesn't matter where your testosterone is. And they're like, because I've done it. I've been on the low end, I've been at the high end, and I didn't notice any differences. But when I got my E2 where I needed it, that's when I felt my differences and found my sweet spot. And it can be a very, very touchy sweet spot where you don't have much wiggle room of your E2. And I've had mine from 36 E2 all the way up to over 65. And that's when I was getting emotional, feeling a little, weird or whatever, like that. And it was just too much. But I thought, well, I'll just leave it. Let me do what some of these guys say and see if I can just handle this. And no, I don't like this. I can't do it. I got to come down. And I take those pills, boom. Within an hour or so, I already felt better. Okay, well, there's your sign. You need to be lower E2. So now my E2 is a lot lower than where it was. But I'm still trying to do this to where I don't need the AI pill, such as anastrozole. And I might be on to something now, finally. So I just want to give you guys an update on that. And that's it. So take care.